Hey yo, what's up? For today's video, we're gonna be doing some French tips. So here I'm just gonna show you guys my prep, and as you guys know, I don't do too much. I like to keep my prep routine super simple. I feel like it doesn't make a difference. I know everyone has their own opinions about it, but at least to me, this is what I've always done and what works for me. I did clip her nails, but I forgot to record that part, and I'm also using the non-C-curve tips from Kiara Sky. Everything's gonna be linked in the description box below, but I'm gonna go in with that. And as you guys know, I like to dip them in the monomer and wipe them dry just so they could glue down a lot faster. I'm also using the Kiara Sky glue as well. Now I'm gonna go ahead and prep the nail tips, and I like to just buff them out and create that seamless transition from the nail tip to the natural nail. You don't have to do it, it's definitely optional, but I like to. It's just part of my routine, so it's what I do now. A lot of you mentioned that you guys like the longer videos with the in-depth like prep and application and everything like that. So I've been definitely trying to leave those clips in or just try to record them. So I'm going to start adding those now. I'm still trying to figure out the whole camera situation, so we're going to be going back and forth from the camera angles to my phone angles. It's just so much easier for me to record on my phone because I'm already used to it and I know like the angles that I need to get and everything like that. But with the camera, I just need to figure out the perfect settings that are going to work for me. And that's what I'm having trouble with because I've been looking up videos on like how to set it up, but I feel like those are more for like vlogs, and I'm trying to get like some content, like nail content, so sometimes it'll just focus on my hands and not their hands. Here I'm going in on the free edge and just creating that C-curve before my application. I feel like it sets the perfect foundation so that when I do apply my acrylic, it lays perfectly at a C-curve already. So when it comes to filing, I already kind of have that down and I don't have to do too much. For the acrylic, I'm going to be using Bad Enough by Dynamic Nail Supply. And you guys already know that's one of my favorite acrylics to use. It's like the perfect nude. It's like a pink nude, and I'm more of a pink nude type of person. I'll really only do like an actual nude when the clients request it. For my dehydrator, I do use acetone in a spray bottle, so that's what you guys are going to see me doing. Just spray the nails and dehydrate them. Once they're dehydrated, I go in and add my primer, and I like to do this one by one. So for the primer, I use the Mia Secret primer, and I also go in with the Mia Secret clear acrylic and just apply a very thin layer. I feel like that step also really helps with retention, but I use it for the purpose of them not getting any lint on their nails and also not feeling super restricted when it comes to like using your phone or moving around. So you guys know the drill. I'm gonna let you guys watch the application and I'll be back once we're on our next step. Now we're going to get into the filing, and you guys already know I'm going to be using my 60 by 60 hand files, and they are going to be linked in the description box below as well if you guys are interested in purchasing. I do have an in-depth shaping tutorial. If you guys want to check that out, go ahead and do so. But after I do my hand filing, I'm going to go in with my fine carbide bit and clean up the free edge and cuticle. I also like to go over the entire nail to just smooth it out for a perfect base. Now we're gonna get into my French tips, and I'm using the XL liner brush from Kiara Sky. I'm also gonna have it linked in the description box below, as well as the white that I'm using. It is from Amazon, but I 10 out of 10 recommend. It's super pigmented, as you guys can see. It's so hard for me to explain how I do my French tips because I feel like I do them so much that it's just programmed. I don't even know. I'd be on autopilot for real, just doing these French tips. But I can say that when it comes to the sides of them, I like to make them super thin. The sides of the French tips, I make them super thin. I go straight down and curve them, and then I just perfect it after that. Once I get that done, I make sure they're like centered, and then I just start perfecting the sides and fixing everything if it needs to be fixed. At the end of the French tips, you can see that like I stop, look at it, and then I fix anything that needs to be fixed. Also, sometimes the gel polish kind of smudges on the outline of the French tip, so I go back in and just like redefine it. Honestly, the key to some nice French tips is having full control of your liner brush. I feel like once you get comfortable enough with your liner brush, it's so much easier to do any design. Like I mentioned, I do French tips at least once a day, so to me, it's very easy. Here you could see exactly what I mean by I go in as if I was going to do a V-tip. I do the exact same thing on the other side and make sure that they both begin at the same points. I feel like that has a lot to do with making sure they look even as well. Once I get down that little V-tip looking thing, I start rounding it out. And this is what I mean by I start perfecting it. I kind of start curving it and seeing which side needs a little more gel. And I always like to do the exact same thing on each side. So whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. I feel like that also helps me create the evenness that I need in order for them to come out perfect. I also have seen some people flip their client's hand over and check how they look from their point of view. I feel like that's another good tip as well. I don't really do that because like I mentioned, I do them so often that I could just tell by looking at it. I also like to wipe the sides when I'm done doing my French tips just to make sure that the gel polish doesn't get too thick on the sides and it doesn't ruin my shape. I repeat the same exact steps onto every French tip for every finger, and that's how I achieve my perfect French tips. You guys are going to see on the other two fingers, I'm doing the exact same thing, kind of like V-tip, and then just round it out and perfect it from there, doing the same thing that I do to one side to the other. But that wraps up today's video. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.